Episode 40, Leave No Witnesses. Welcome to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki G. I'm here to delight, entertain, and talk about all things off-road for the next 10 minutes or so. Why 10 minutes? That's about how big my bladder is. Yeah, that's a new one. All right, welcome to the show. Just want to remind everybody out there, you can catch the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on Anchor and Spotify and iTunes podcast thingy majigger, whatever you download iTunes on, and Google Play, I guess. I'm not too up on Android stuff. I'm by force an Apple person. But that's a different podcast altogether. I don't know why I'm saying this, because if you're listening to this, you've already found the podcast. Congratulations and thank you. You can catch us on Instagram, the Twitter, Facebook, and of course the YouTube. But again, you probably already know all that. All right, so let's dive in. And if I haven't said it before, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, so this is episode 40, the big 4-0. I think I have to look back. I think I've been doing this for about a year now. I don't know how, if I do it every other week and I'm on episode 40, I don't see how it's a year. The math doesn't add up somehow. But again, I was never that good at math. And would like to thank Kim Dixon, who sat in front of me in 8th grade math. If it wasn't for her, I would never have passed algebra. I can't do a lick of algebra now, but she'd let me look over her shoulder on tests. I'd copy her homework on the bus on the way to school. Mr. Dornhecker, there's not a thing you can do about it now. I got me my diploma. All right, so enough of that. This week I want to talk about filming and documentation. Not that kind of documentation. I mean, documenting things on the trail. There's a lot of good YouTube channels out there that have a lot of good quality filming of their trail rides. Light Bright Nation is a good one. But the thing about Light Bright Nation that I'm not too keen on, they're kind of professionals. I'm not exactly sure what they do for a living. I think they have some roots in racing or something. But they obviously have a lot of production, I don't say equipment, know-how, that they're not lacking in their productions. I don't think the average person could afford the equipment that they have. And I say equipment, I really believe this is about 75% creativity and individual and up to the individual, and about 25% equipment. Don't get hung up on the equipment, but a decent camera will make the difference. But Light Bright Nation, check them out. That's what a professional-ish production trail ride looks like. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, check out my channel, Nick G. There's nothing professional about me. Oh my gosh. Matter of fact, you would be amazed to know that I'm recording this podcast on an iPad. I've got a little bit of a fancier microphone, but this is just a cheap $10 Amazon microphone. And I'm sure you can tell this is not the high quality podcasts that are out there, but you're listening to it, so you must find it entertaining. So it's really 10% equipment and 90% individual creativity. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, another good YouTube channel to check out to see some good filming quality is the Bearded Jeeper. If you don't know who he is, Google the Bearded Jeeper. He's got some really good wheeling videos. The action moves along and it's high energy. I don't want to insult him, but he's just an average schmo, just like us. You know, he works 9 to 5 on another job, and he wheels for a hobby. And he films it, and he edits it, and he does a really good job with it. I try to emulate his style, which I fail. I think I gave up trying to emulate his style, and I just do my own thing, that's what it's all about. But there's a lot of other good YouTube channels out there. SWB Crawler and FM Jeeping. And, oh boy, they changed their YouTube channel name. I can't think of what it's called. It used to be A Bug's Life. Goat Offroad. There you go. They do excellent filming, and they're just average people. And like I said, I'm not trying to insult everybody, but I take that average as a compliment, I guess. At least if somebody called me average, I'd be pretty happy. Now back to my channel, I film it. The main thing I do is I try to capture the essence of what's going on. If it's friends I haven't seen in a long time, I try to run with that theme and just try to get as much footage as you can. If you record too much, you can always clip it out of the video, but if you don't record it, then you don't have it. And you don't have to do all the recording. You're in a group of 5 people. Before you go wheeling, set up a Dropbox or some account and say, hey, I've got this Dropbox. Just if you don't mind uploading any pictures and videos you have. And, share the wealth. The main thing is just get out and enjoy the woods, have a good time, and film it if you can. Like I said, once you film it, you have it. If you don't film it, then you don't have it. But you'll still have the memories, and that's the most important thing, is just going out there and enjoying it with friends, having a good time. I would say not getting hurt or break anything, but I've done both several times. And sometimes breaking things is part of the fun, although it's not fun at the time. And that's a podcast for another day. But we'll move on to equipment. I am cheap. I am really, really cheap. I spend my money where it matters. I have 2 kids that are spreading their wings and fleeing the nest, and they soak up a lot of extra money. Believe me, even though they're gone, they're never gone. So I spend my money where it matters the most to me. And I love wheeling, and I spend, what I can on wheeling. But when it comes to dragging equipment through the mud and the dirt, I have a hard time spending $2,500, $1,000 on a camera that's for just a hobby. So what I use, I have a GoPro Hero 7. Now before you go, oh Nick, that's an expensive camera. Yeah, it was bought on sale, and it doubled as a Christmas present, so the kids had to get me something. So it was a Hero GoPro 7. But I have a couple of knockoff GoPros that are like $30, $40 that I use. And the good thing about the $30, $40 knockoff camera is you do a lot of stuff with that you normally wouldn't do if you had a piece of expensive camera. I like to set my knockoff GoPros in the middle of the trail as people are climbing over rocks and stuff, and you get a good shot of their undercarriage as they're going over. People drive and see a camera and they freak out. I tell them, keep wheeling, don't pay attention to the camera. If you run it over, I'll have an awesome shot, and it works. So I use a GoPro, a knockoff GoPro, my iPhone. I think I have an iPhone 8 now. Yeah, I think it's an 8SE or whatever. But before that, I used my iPhone 5, my iPhone 4, and I get some good video and pictures with that. I have an old Galaxy 7, I think it's a Galaxy 7 cell phone that I do about 90% of my video filming on. It's an old cell phone. It's not even hooked up to the cellular service. All I use it for is videoing. And if you've seen any of my videos, the intros and outros to my videos are filmed on this phone. And it's a good quality camera, and I don't have a lot of money invested in it. So if I drop it on the rocks and crack the screen, I'll just go on eBay and buy another old cell phone for $50. So my tip to you is, if you have an old phone, don't throw it out. Use it. The big thing is just to film what you got. Now, because I have such janky equipment, the last time I was out wheeling, well, not the last time, I guess it was the first time this year when I went wheeling with some friends, my GoPro failed. It turned on and it recorded, but the quality of it, the recording, it was kind of, everything was like washed in green. What happened? I don't know. I've reformatted the card in it, tested it out. It seems to work fine now. It was that one day, that one glitch. And I lost the whole day worth of wheelings. I had it mounted on the back of my Jeep filming the guy behind me. I have the memories, and that's almost as good. To recap, there's a lot of good YouTube channels out there. The Bearded Jeeper, Goat Offroad, Shockwave Offroad, I forgot about that one, which used to be Project Napalm. FM Jeeping, SWB Crawling, Jeep Mama. It's another amateur videography that has some good camera work with modest equipment. It doesn't take a lot of equipment to film. The biggest thing is just go out there, have fun, film what you can, take pictures, share it with other people. Everybody's got a camera now. It's all in their pocket on their cell phone. So share the videos, mash them together. Editing, there's a lot of free editing software out there. I purchased something quite a few years ago called Filmora. I think it's Wondershare Filmora. The version I have is kind of obsolete and outdated, but it doesn't take a lot to just trim the fat off of videos, mash them together, put in some titles. You don't need fancy-dancy special effects. It's all up to you. Do the best filming you can and do the best editing you can. And if it's 100% top-notch Spielberg quality, great. If it's not and it looks like a 4th grade PowerPoint presentation, that's great too. Just as long as you've got the video out there for you. And that is the key to everything. You do it for you. Don't worry about what other people will think about it. You use the vision that's in your mind for you. And if you have joy in it, other people will enjoy it. And on that heavy note, I'm going to end it. If you have a comment, please shoot me an email at 10minuteoffroad@gmail.com or 10minuteoffroad, yeah. It's 10minuteoffroad@gmail.com. Or if you're watching this on a YouTube channel, leave a comment down below. If you're listening to it on Anchor or one of these other podcast things, I don't know how to leave comments on that or if I'd even get it. I would say leave me a review on iTunes or Google Play, but I don't really care. I'm doing this podcast because I have something to say, and as long as one person is listening to it, I'm happy. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. All right, until next time, this is Nikki G saying, wheel what you got and be happy.